Can we say the Warriors just had a good loss? It's stuck, right? It's very bittersweet. The loss last night for the OKC, but the Warriors actually finished the game in a high note. I gonna be honest with you. When the game started, I was falling asleep because it just looked like one of those nights where the Warriors would have a tough game from beginning to end. We didn't have Stephen Curry, so I we are playing against one of the best teams in the league right now, leading the West Conference, Oklahoma, led by Shai Gijus Alexander, SGA. So I didn't expect that would be an easy game. And actually, the Warriors were not favorites, mainly not having Stephen Curry. So when the game started, we had that at some point we were 18 points behind. I was already almost giving up, but that was my mistake because we never actually give up on the Warriors, right? And we start grinding and coming back. And we end the game showing problems, which we'll talk here today, but great signs as well. Before we dig deeper and we talk about the game itself, and I'm going to put you in my comments, take a look on what Steve Kerr actually said after the game.
With the smaller lineup, obviously didn't start off well, but did you think that brought kind of energy and maybe the speed that you were looking for?
Well, not really in the first quarter. We were awful in the first quarter. But I loved everything I saw in the last 3 quarters, the energy, the defense, the rotations, guys were flying around. We had a lot of good individual contributions. So that's our team, that's who we are, and that's exciting for me to see the defensive excellence that I watched those last 3 quarters. And so tough loss, and obviously three in a row, but the 82 game season, we're going to be just fine. We got a really good team.
What did you see happening there offensively? I mean, obviously you're held scoreless for a long period there. Uh, just not the ball movement, or what was happening there?
Yeah, I didn't think we made great decisions down the stretch the last 5 minutes. And it's a little tough. Obviously, it's kind of pick and roll time late in the game, and with Steph out, it makes it a little trickier on our team. So we tried to execute a few things. We got a few good looks, and I think in the paint for the game we were 19 for 46. So we had some shots, but just didn't convert in the paint. So it happens. But like I said, I love the effort, love the energy, and give them credit. They play great defense down the stretch.
Yeah, so there's so many things we can talk about this game, right? So the Warriors started really bad. And at some point, we gave that 18 points lead to Oklahoma. We finished like the first half wasn't great. Um, but it was also expected, right? We're playing without our main player. We don't have D'Anthony Melton. Um, they are almost complete. Obviously, they don't have Holmgren, but Hartenstein was back, so they actually had size. Steve Kerr showed one of the points of this game is he didn't show trust that the path forward was playing Tracy Jackson. Tracy Jackson played less than 5 minutes in this game. Kevin Looney also played less than 7 minutes. So he was trying different things, right? We still have a problem where the absence of D'Anthony Melton hasn't yet been fully, I would say, digested by Steve Kerr because he hasn't found the way forward. Also because we, together with that, we had absence of John Kuminga. Lynn Waters the third had a lump on his performance. He's not playing as he had those first games. Steve Kerr doesn't seem to actually trust Buddy Hield starting lineup. So we haven't actually figured out all of that now. Stephen Curry being out as well. So there's a few things still to adjust. But he said in this interview later, he expects to be back with Trace Jackson, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, and JK. Likely it's going to the bench again. Lynn Waters is still going to be a starter when we have Stephen Curry back. Other than that, a few high notes. Pat Spencer, that actually was from in the game. I was like, what is going on, Stuker? Basic. I thought he gave up. At that point, I was like, Spencer hasn't been playing. And then all of a sudden he's there. He actually played well. Like he did really came to the game and he changed the game for the Warriors because he came with intensity. He was attacking. He was bringing a different flavor. That leads to my other point is that right now we have a problem with Brandon Przinski. I think at some point he started hitting some shots and he was able to to get that 3-point play, and then one and a foul, and then he hit a 3-point shooting shot later. That is the problem, main problem that has been having right now. So I hope that things start setting up for him, because he's actually not being helpful. And together with other players that came, and he didn't add that much. Everyone was in like, we didn't have any players with more than 20 points. Andrew Wiggins was really well in the first half, and then he actually again lowered the performance at the end of the game. If you pay attention again on the last quarter, the Warriors are basically like, they're done. Like, they're really tired. You could see that the team was exhausted. They were not with the intensity, because what brought the Warriors back to the game was that defense that was so intense and made OKC very uncomfortable, and mainly SGA. SGA finished the game with 35 points, but you compare the performance on the first half with the second half, and you see that the Warriors changed, and Draymond Green leading that defense. I know I call out Draymond Green here last video, but he actually did a really good, like, had a 14 rebounds, 10 points, a double-double, and he led the Warriors defense. We lost. Let's not forget that. There's problems. Like, we're still like in a 70% free throw, which it's unbelievable to say that is almost 10% from the previous game. We have 3 losses in a row. There are problems yet, right? We still don't have enough firepower, mainly without Stephen Curry. So, but having only this 4-point loss to OKC, a great team, being 18 points behind and being able to come back, it gives us hope that the Warriors have things, and they can show they have firepower. They're adding like Curry. They can grind. They can bring back that defense that they were having before. So there was way forward. Jonathan Kuminga came back and came from the bench, and I think he was really being aggressive and showing that intensity that is needed. So the Warriors need to figure out on and off things, but we saw from different players what we can do. Let's take a look on the box score. I think I already mentioned. So the main problem for the Warriors yesterday was the field goal percentage, right? And 3-point percentage, mainly not having Stephen Curry. We saw that 3-point percentage dropping to 32%. The field goal was in 35%. But the fact is that we forced, OKC is the best defense in the league right now, right? And the Warriors are one of the top 5 as well. So we saw at the game that both offense were struggling at some point, because the defense were really working well. And obviously we were without our main guy, so that obviously influenced it. But we saw great signs. We finished the first half with 11 turnovers, and we actually finished the game with only 14. So there are some really good things to look here. Again, I do think that we need more help from Brandy Porzinski. He's replacing Stephen Curry, but he's not reliable, right? He's still under the performance, even finishing with 12 points last night. I think we need more from him, and the expectations that the Warriors created around him based on his first year, his rookie season, was a lot higher than what we're seeing right now. Moses Moody actually finished the game without points, didn't have that many minutes as well. And one thing that you notice on this game, when you look to the beginning, to the top of the table, is that despite having that deeper rotation, you see a higher imbalance that we were not noticing before, like where most of the players are playing the same amount of minutes with a few exceptions. Without Stephen Curry, mainly, Steve Kerr had to rely a lot more on Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, so you see higher number of minutes for those guys and a lot less for other ones, right? So there's a lot of to digest from this game, but I think the Warriors will have a really tough game. Obviously, the Warriors don't play today and tomorrow. It's a 2-day rest. Thanksgiving, by the way, happy Thanksgiving for you if you're celebrating. I hope you have a lot to be thankful for, and I think we can be thankful for what we saw last night, despite losing these three losses in a row the Warriors had. We built that lead in the beginning of the season, which is great because it's an 82 game, so you expect this all ups and downs. But now we're still in a good position to move forward, and the Warriors actually have a tough game to end November. So Saturday we play in Phoenix. We're traveling. We're playing it's a road game. We, to be honest, for the Warriors have been better sometimes than even playing home. The Warriors are really performing well on the road, so we're going there, and we know how much firepower the Phoenix Suns bring. We're gonna face a familiar face again, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. So we will need. We still to hear if Stephen Curry will be back. But other than that, I think we show great signs, especially on the defense, which has been our strongest point this season. Now we just need some guys to come back to a good shooting performance or better than it is right now. Like a little bit more from Andrew Higgins, a little bit more from Moses Moody, from Buddy Hield. All those guys that have been scoring more in the beginning would have put us with a better position to win this game last night. And we also have to remind, right, like the lack of not having Stephen Curry is a big thing. So let's not forget that Stephen Curry won the Clutch Player of the Year last season, and for a reason, because usually in this tough time where you need to be like that cold blood, where you need to be like very understanding the game, so that is those final minutes, like when you have a tie game, he is really good on that, and that's exactly what the Warriors in the last, like I would say 7 minutes, we score like 2 points. So that was a big thing for the Warriors. We had this big time. We were forcing Oklahoma to miss shots as well, but we couldn't deliver it. And there was a problem. And that's a place where when we have Curry back, he really takes over the game. And it's a thing that he's one of the best of doing that. So I think we have path forward, obviously. Hopefully Curry is going to be back for this game and we have the chance to go there and do a really good one. So again, I hope you have a Thanksgiving. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.